Welcome to the Landis Look, where we take an inside look at the world of real estate. Today we are going to take an inside look at the most coveted thing this summer that any piece of real estate could have, which is a new pool. And I'm here with Josh and Brooke. Thanks for being here, guys.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, Justin.
So, Josh and Brooke bought a house last year and they had a pool installed. And based on my conversations with a lot of y'all, basically everyone is either considering or wishing they could have done this. So, start off, when y'all bought this house, did you plan to put a pool in?
Absolutely. That was one of the main reasons we bought this house, because it had a massive backyard to where we had the space to put a pool in. So that was one of the things I told them. I was like, if we're moving, I want a space for a pool. It's an absolute must for me.
So you guys were early adopters, because this was pre-COVID, before everybody knew they were going to be in their backyard all the time.
We started thinking about this, like I said, the minute that we started looking for a house, and we bought the house in May of 2019, and we were planning it right after we started buying it.
Well, so tell us, go ahead.
And by we, Brooke means her, because I wasn't quite on board, especially once I found out the cost of the pool. And but she eventually wore me down.
I grew up at the pool, so I really, really wanted to have one. As a kid, I loved it. So
we'll get to the cost in a minute, but I mean, I guess from the very beginning, did you have other reservations? Was there something else that was giving you pause other than the cost?
Just the cost.
Just the cost. All right.
That's it.
Well, I know you guys want to know how much did this pool cost, and we will get to that. But let's start with the beginning of the process. So you wanted to get a pool. What were the first things you did to move down that path?
So in the city of Atlanta, there is a ratio where I was talking to Justin about this earlier, and that, forgive me, I don't remember if it's 50% or 55%. You have to have permeable surface on your lot that you have in Atlanta. So we had an architect come out, and he was a landscape designer. He came out and he drew the lot for us, and he figured out how much unpermeable spaces we have on our lot, and he figured out how much space we could afford to have, or how large a pool we could have. So.
And how large is your guys' lot here?
We have a quarter acre, I think, like 9,000 square feet, maybe something along those lines.
Yeah, so this is a good size in-town lot. In addition to the pool, great backyard, and so it's nice that you have the space to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So you found out you could do it. You're like, hey, we definitely could do it. Well, then what did you do to start to make that reality?
So we reached out to 3 different pool contractors, and the original designer had given us an idea of the pool layout we wanted. We told him we wanted a hot tub that did a waterfall into the pool, and so we reached out to 3 different contractors. They kind of came up with some ideas of their own, and we got quotes from all of them, and
I made a spreadsheet.
Brooke made a spreadsheet, with numbers and square footage and all kinds of stuff on it. So.
How did those, I mean, for someone else doing this, would you recommend getting 3 quotes? Was 3 the right number? If you did it again, would you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What would you say about that process?
I'd say 3 was probably good. Right now, it's kind of hard to get people to reach out to you. I've had some friends that are thinking about doing a pool, and they're saying if they're not doing a $100,000 pool, contractors aren't reaching back out to them. So it might be difficult to find 3, but I would definitely recommend more than just reaching out to 2, because the prices vary quite a bit.
That was going to be my next question. So, I mean, how much variation did you have in price?
I think
about $30,000 between the highest and the lowest.
Yeah. And some of them included things that the others didn't include. Yeah. Some of them included the pavers or the patio space. Some of them included, we actually had to pay per foot of gas line that used, because we do have a heated pool. And some of them said, oh no, that's included in the price. So just kind of, you'd had to look at it and kind of sift it all out. But
did you feel like you could navigate that yourself? Did you get any advice from anybody else? Could you meet with just sort out the info and feel like make a good decision on it?
I had to, once we got the quotes back, I quickly learned a lot of pool lingo, because I had no idea what half the stuff meant. And I looked it up, Googled everything. I was like, what does this mean? What is this? I was like, I don't know what this brand is. We quickly learned a lot about the ins and outs and, what things meant. So.
Because you didn't just have a pool back here. I mean, there's a lot more than just the pool here in the yard now. I mean, how'd you decide on, hey, how much, patio do we want? And do we want pavers? And you've got a new fence and sod and all that.
Right.
I mean, how hard was that?
Pinterest helps. Pinterest is amazing. Sometimes it's the devil too. But we got a lot of ideas from there. The fence that we saw actually was a fence in his daughter's, not her neighborhood, but around her neighborhood. We saw a housing development that had this style fence, and we really, really liked that. We reached out to the fence company, they could do that.
Fence was easy, because you got to have a minimum of 5 feet, which I kind of wanted. Yep. This is 6 feet, and in order to get 5 feet, you have to pay extra to cut off a foot of it. So we went with 6 feet.
Yes.
And so it turned out really well.
Yeah.
And as far as the pool design itself, we knew what elements we wanted. We wanted the sun shelf. We wanted a ledge for the girls to be able to sit on, because our girls are 11 and 7. So, you know, we just wanted something they could not get in and not have any fun. Of course, that's like that would happen. But,
yeah, so you got the sun shelf, you got a ledge, you got the hot tub, and there's some extra add-ons that you had to decide that you wanted.
Right on the back side of the pool, we have a attached garden bed, because somebody's a big gardener. So,
and then our pool contractor, he made the decisions easy for us, because he showed us some booklets after we chose one. And he said, you know, this is what most people do. And we looked at pictures and we're like, okay, we like this, you know, we want this right here. And once we decided, we didn't look at any more options. We're like, we're done. We don't want to get confused on it. We knew we wanted Pebble Tech finish. We knew we wanted the freeform, you know, pool. But other than that, I didn't know what coping meant. I didn't know what waterline tile was or any of that. And so now we know.
Awesome. So how long did the whole process take from you started, you know, with the landscape architect to you were jumping into the pool?
Right. I think we started with the landscape architect October of last year. And then we got things drew out, and then just with the holidays, it slowed things down a little bit, getting people out here, getting quotes, and of course we were busy. We just weren't able to respond like we should have, you know, been on that. And then the permitting process, I want to say, took about a month for the city of Atlanta. So I think we started permitting in February, maybe.
That sounds right.
And then they started construction in March.
And then you had to do construction during COVID. How did that go?
Not great.
I don't think it was that. The construction during COVID wasn't bad. The lag time on getting things out here, that is what part of the problem was. Because, you know, construction or contractors, they're deemed essential, so they could still work unlike a lot of other people.
Right.
But just getting, you know, things in place was a little bit more difficult. We are, you know, things are still in back order that we're waiting on.
Nope, our heater's in.
Oh, that's true. Our heater is in.
Heater finally came in, so that'll be.
We can finally have a real hot tub instead of just a tub.
But luckily, the Atlanta weather has heated the pool, so it's fantastic.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even be using the heater right now, anyway.
I think we started filling up the pool with water in May, I want to say. So we started construction in March. We had about a month in there when nothing was going on, not because of COVID, but because of some drainage issues we had to take care of and relocate. And we had to have a separate company come in and take care of that. So that took about a month getting all that sorted out. So that pushed things back a little bit. Then we started filling the pool up in May, and pleasantly surprised that our water bill was not atrocious. I was expecting like $1,000 water bill. It wasn't even close to that. So I was very, very happy. And we started swimming, I want to say, first part of June. It was really
that is perfect timing, right?
It was really, really cold in June, though. The water was fresh out of the ground or wherever, the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so for the $1 million, well, hopefully not $1 million question. Hopefully not $1 million. How much does a pool cost?
This one costs what, $65?
Yeah, about $50,000 for the pool, and then another $15,000 for the hot tub, and then like the garden bed that we did was another.
But that was all outside the pool,
So and then there's always extra stuff. Then you have the fence.
The fence was $5,000 for the fence around, which I didn't think was bad at all for the size, the amount of I guess linear feet that it is. But.
So roughly $65,000.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
No.
I mean, man.
Yeah.
And we've used it a ton.
Yeah.
So and then I think the finish is good for like 30 years before you have to do anything. So
it is shotcrete, I think is what they call it.
I think so, yeah.
So freeform, that's just how they do it instead of a drop-in pool that's vinyl or I forget what the other material is.
So if you had to give one final piece of advice, someone is thinking about putting a pool in their backyard, what would you guys each say? I want to get both of your opinions. Each say is the most important thing to do, or the biggest piece of advice you could give.
Be patient. Be patient. Well, and that's, right now during COVID, that's just...
You got to be patient. I mean, in life. I think that's good advice in life. Yeah.
Just be patient. But no, I mean, I'm kind of partial, but I think ours turned out really, really great. Just look at different designs and see what you like about it, because we had an idea. We didn't like the design that was initially given to us, so we said, can you switch a few things around? So don't be afraid to ask for changes.
We reached out to quite a few friends that we have that own pools and asked them about sun shelves, hot tubs,
heater,
all that. One thing that I really wanted was to be able to swim laps kind of back and forth.
Yep.
And so we made, put the sun shelf over on the edge here so you can go straight back and forth. And another thing I was really happy about was, once we got the calculations, they were like, you can do a pool this big, which I thought would be kind of big, but it's awesome because we got one kid that wants to do swim team now, and I love swimming laps in it. So
it sounds like a lot of the, do your upfront research and prep.
Right. Yeah.
Basically. Is some good advice.
And get some quotes and know the language, because the pool contractors, they've been doing this forever, so they'll throw things out at you and you're like, I have no idea what that means. I mean, it's just, like you said, I grew up with a pool, but my pool was an above ground pool that we did everything ourselves, so things are a lot different from that. But,
awesome. Well, man, guys, thanks so much for sharing your pool
Absolutely.
with us today. It does look amazing, and I am so jealous that you have been swimming in this all summer. Once my wife sees this, I think there's a decent chance we will be on the path to a pool next year. This is amazing.
Perfect.
So we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming, and everybody, thanks for watching. If you have any specific questions about pools or about buying a house with a pool, we would be happy to have that conversation with you. Send us a private message like so many of you do, and we will see you again next week. Thanks, everyone.